Ready. Play.
The Nadal retirement, maybe it began on the grass courts of Wimbledon in 2022. The fifth set or the five-setter with Taylor Fritz, that was the last time I think we really saw Rafa at Rafa's level. He had an incredible opening 7 months to that year, including the Australian Open title, including the French Open title, winning in Acapulco as well. Final of Indian Wells, an injury setback there didn't end up holding him up too much. Same with the injury setback he suffered in Rome, ultimately lifting his 14th French Open title, and was set to play a semi-final against Nick Kyrgios at Wimbledon in 2022, but that was scuppered by the abdominal issue that he suffered that day. Of course, that wasn't necessarily the one that finished his career, but it was the beginning of a downward spiral that has been 2.5 years in the making and culminated in today's performance, if you like. The hip injury, of course, that was incurred in January 2023 was almost certainly far more significant in terms of the end of the career, but there was lots of other things, as Rafa has highlighted on them. We saw it in the performance today that the movement is just not there anymore. And yes, maybe with practice, maybe with a bit more, maybe he can hang there with the world number 50, the world number 75, the world number 100. But that is not how Rafa wants to head out of this sport. He wants to head out at the top or as close as possible to the top. Arguably, he didn't quite manage ending at the top, but at least a couple of years ago, he was very much at the top of the sport and sealing his 22nd Grand Slam. Yeah, the little flickerings we saw this year in Brisbane to some extent, before another hip injury there ruled him out of the Australian Open and large parts of the next parts of the season, until we did finally see him in Barcelona and Madrid. Still very much a shadow of himself, I would suggest, in some of those results and some of those wins, but there were some epic moments and some wonderful goodbyes. Also in Rome as well. How can we forget that goodbye on the balcony? Before, of course, a little more flickering as well in Sweden, in Bastard, where he got to the final of the 250 before losing to Nuno Borges. I think there were probably more concerns then about the level and again about the movement. We saw it again at Roland Garros in that straight sets loss to Novak as well. And that was probably the day that finally confirmed to Rafa, if you like, that, hang on, even on my beloved clay, even on my beloved home in my own backyard, even here at Roland Garros, I'm still not able to replicate what I know I could and should be capable of.